go through here. This video is not going to be for everyone, but I had a subscriber send me a private email. His name was Cole, asking for some tips on if it's possible to make some money selling sports cards on eBay, and I definitely think that you can. You're not going to make any money by opening boxes and cases, not that way. But I'm going to give some tips out. This is kind of, I sell stuff on eBay all the time. I know a lot of people don't like eBay and gripe about it, but to me there's no better avenue to get my stuff seen by the amount of people that you do. So I'm just going to put up these little cards I made. This might help some people out, actually. I don't know. This is just stuff I've learned from trial and error. So first topic is fixed or best offer versus auction. Now, to me, fixed auctions are much better in terms of you're going to get a lot more for your items when you use fixed. The reason for that is it's all about patience. When you do auctions, you can do any day amount you want, 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, but it all depends on who's seeing your auctions. If you only see one person that wants your auction, then you're going to get a really low value. Now, when you get that second person to bid it up, you get people competing for it, and that's when you see a better price on auctions. But for auctions, I mean, when products first come out, they always go for higher. So when a product first comes out, I think it's, if you buy a box or a case or something, it's all right to do an auction. But after that, I mean, you're just kind of pretty much giving your cards away. But one thing you can do with an auction is go on Terapeak. I've talked about that before, and look at what the card has sold for, in the last 3 months, and then price your auction starting price at the average price of that, so you can kind of know what you're going to get, and if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. One other note with auctions, eBay made a new policy, which is actually kind of cool. If your auction gets a bid, you can list for free. So let's talk about fixed. I don't want this video to get too long, but there's kind of a lot to talk about. Fixed price is better in terms of, like I said before, you're going to get a lot more for your cards. You kind of, for best offer auctions, I utilize those when it's kind of a really rare card, something numbered to 10 or less, one of ones and stuff. You kind of put like a pretty high asking price and just kind of wait for somebody to offer something high, or something that you want to sell the card for. I've been blown away by some of the offers that I get on stuff that I didn't even know I was going to get half of that for it. So just and then fixed price is just where you put in a price, and that's what you want for it, period. And a lot of people will stray away from those because they think they're overpaying. But a lot of times you can set it up, check Terapeak again and put your prices right at Terapeak or a little above, and you can get a lot of cards sold that way. So let's go to the next one. So let's talk about stores. And not everybody wants to get a store. I mean, it's expensive. You get free listings and other perks, but basic is what I started out at, and I think now I have like 3,300 items, and I'm just doing it by myself. I just list stuff at night. But you get, for $29.99, you get 100 free listings, I think. Don't quote me on this because it's just what I'm thinking on the top of my head. Premium, $49.99, you get 500. And then for the anchor, that's what I have now. You get 2,500 free listings. It's expensive though. It's $179.99. So kind of weigh your options there. I think the premium is actually a really good deal, and even the basic, if you're only listing 50, 100 cards a month, I think the basic's great. The thing about that is when you do the stores, you only pay 10 cents to list fixed price items compared to 50, so it's worth it in a lot of assets. Sorry. And then this is kind of ties into fixed price auctions. So there is advantages to 30-day and GTC, which stands for Good Till Canceled. One thing I don't like about GTCs is, say you have an auction and you do a listing in your GTC, you only have like 2 quantity and you sell both of them. Well, that auction's still going to be running unless you cancel it, and you're still going to be paying the fees. You really don't have any of the cards in stock. So what I kind of like to do, like a basic rule of thumb, is if I have like more than 5 of a card, if my quantity is like 5 or over, I like to go to use GTCs, and then anything under that, I like to do the 30 days. 30 days nice because after 30 days you can go through all the stuff that didn't sell and kind of adjust prices, you know, move stuff down, change stuff to best offer, and just kind of tweak stuff. So that's kind of my thoughts on those two. Let's go to this next one. This is kind of one that will help you move your lower end stuff, cards that people want to buy for $1. It's tough to sell cards for $1 on eBay because they have to pay the shipping. So shipping promos are good. Say you do a promo like buy 10 or more and all the cards ship for free. So then the person can pick out cards that usually would sell for like $1 on COMC, checkoutmycards.com. Pick out 10 cards in that price range and you ship them for free. It helps you move your lower end stuff. You have to ship for free, but it's actually a nice way to get a lot of this stuff out the door. So take advantage of shipping promos. You can do all kinds of different ones. Just go into eBay and research. This is something that I attained last January. Now this is top rating plus. This is the I don't know. They're changing the format of it, and it's basically for sellers that you sell a certain amount and you have to have 90% of your the items you sell, the tracking uploaded within the handling time, which is 1 business day, and then validated by UPS. So it's got to be scanned. I don't think it has to be scanned within the 1 business day. You just have to have the tracking uploaded. So say you sell some stuff on Tuesday, you gotta have that tracking up by Wednesday. Business days, you sell stuff on Friday, by Monday. I think you guys get the gist on that. And you can't have a defect rate that's above 2%, which is kind of tough because a lot of people will complain about the most minor things and it can hurt you. So just kind of, you kind of just have to let the buyer win a lot of the time. So that's kind of how I manage the top rated. I've had it for I think 10 months in a row now. So I mean once you get it, if you just kind of take care of things, you'll be fine. And this is kind of what if you're going to be listing a bunch of cards, you're obviously going to need pictures. You don't want to use other people's. I think it's better just to use your own and do your own work. So for the longest time, I used the camera. A few months ago, I bought a scanner. I like both still. I like using the camera for lots, like where I'm selling 20 or 30 cards, just because it's so much quicker and easier. Scanner's nice for just getting a lot better picture. You can still get a good picture out of a camera, but it just doesn't look as nice as a scanner. So just kind of decide what you want to go with. If you can get good pictures from the camera and you have one, just go with the camera. So that's all kind of a personal preference thing. And then to save you some time when you are listing, there's tons of software out there, and these are just 2 of the most basic ones. Turbo Lister is actually free. Garage Sales might be 30 or 40 bucks, and they're pretty much the same thing. For some reason, Turbo Lister does not work on Macs. So if you have a Mac, you can't have Turbo Lister. I don't know. And then Garage Sale works on Mac, so you have to pay for that. And there's other ones like Octiva and all kinds of softwares. Basically, what they do is they let you create a template, then you make a couple, 2 or 3 tweaks, and you can save the items into a folder. Then you can list them all at once. Saves time. It's a little easier. So then something else you have to factor in is your shipping fees. Well, there's 3 fees. PayPal takes a fee. eBay has final value fees, which are 7% when you're a top rated. I think they're like 9 when you're not. So you have to factor in all these fees. So the reason I like the fixed price best offer is, I mean, you get more for your cards to offset all the fees you have to pay, because there's a lot of fees that go into it. So just think about it. Shipping, eBay, PayPal. You have to pay all those fees. So you kind of got to try to stretch your listings out and get a little more from. We got a couple more note cards left. It's going to be a 10-minute video. I hope this is helpful to some people. If you're not into selling on eBay, just skip past this one. This one will not be for everybody. The way I do all my labels, I can print off, 40, 50 labels at a time with a Zebra printer. Maybe I'll do a video on how to do this. I don't think everybody knows how to do this. I had to kind of figure this out. But I bought a Zebra printer. I think it's like a ZP450. It was, I don't know, like maybe $100, but it's well worth it. You can get your labels for free just with a UPS account, and they'll send you like 500 or 1,000 at a time. But it's so much quicker than cutting out your postage, and taping it on. You just peel these and put them on your packages so much faster. So if you're going to be selling a lot, I would definitely recommend getting a Zebra. They're really nice and they're quick. Lastly, this is kind of my pet peeve. Couple things. I think you should buy some painter tape if you're going to be shipping cards. People love to get their cards and you secure it with painter's tape as opposed to normal tape, because they can peel that right off the top corner and it doesn't look so bad. And then the number one thing is when you're shipping stuff out, just make sure everything's taped in and secured. If you're selling a high value card, put some protection on it. I don't think you need to get insurance, but I think anything over 250 you sell, you should get a signature confirmation. So just take the time to package your stuff right, and you'll get good feedback and be on your way. So those are the tips I could think of. There's a lot more I could talk about, but I don't want this video to drag too far. So later.